All right, man. It's episode something.
74.
74 and a half.
Some change.
Yeah, we just did 74. Now, you the one with the numbers being messed up.
I never said anything about it. I was good with numbers. I just said dates. I never claimed to be good at numbers.
You take this L I'm giving you.
Yeah, I'm accepting it. I'm just saying, I never claimed to be good with numbers. I mess up some numbers in the heartbeat, boy.
Well, we were...
What's it called? I just looked it up. It's like claudiophobia. Not phobia.
What did you just say?
What I just said was made up, but it's called dyslexia. Calculative dyslexia. I don't know. No, it's just like it just got
numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
The root word is like cal and shit. I don't know.
Okay. Though. Like calculus.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't good at calculus either.
Yeah. I mean, any kind of quick math. I mean, I'm not bad at math, but any kind of like. Hey, what's 25 plus 6? I don't know. I'm not even gonna try. Like I don't even think twice about it. I'm just gonna be like,
Oh man, like a freakazoid. What's 2 plus 2? 22.
Hey, I'm like, hey, I ain't gonna say no numbers. I don't even try.
Oh shoot. Well, I'm Jordan.
It's your boy M.
And this is Black Nerd Planet with 2 people.
The M does not stand for math.
I was thinking about that. I was like, I wonder if people are like, there's only 2 of you guys. Where's the planet? Are we starting a new planet? You think that's the I mean, we're not Adam and Eve.
Yeah, we found it. We found this
discovery. I like that one.
Yeah, we like.
Probably should have had that explanation a
Neil
long time
Armstrong.
ago.
And who else was he with on that?
Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah. I'm like, I know that name.
It was all fake anyway, Marlon.
Hey.
Nah.
You know me. You know how I get down. Yeah, it probably was. I believe that.
What number are we going to call this? 74 and a half, 75? We're recording this on a Saturday. We usually do Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, talking about PlayStation anniversary stuff, and that happened like a few days ago. It's all relevant. Whatever. It's the same year. We'll figure out how to number this later.
Yeah, it don't matter. We can just call it an episode for all they care.
Yeah. Well, who cares? Do we care? I don't know.
Moderately.
What have you been up to, man? Anything? I ain't been doing shit. So I'm relying on you to give me some answers.
I've been playing, I've been trying to play 2K, but every time I get it started, it be like late. And you know, like 2K is almost the same as like playing Monster Hunter.
Oh,
you gotta dedicate a specific amount of time to that shit.
You're
and
level 58 rookie
I'm
with
trying
no
to
jump
hoop,
shot.
Yeah, and it's like 11 o'clock, and I'm like laying down, like, man, I'm not about to finish this game, you know. And then when you playing 2K, you know, everything is online and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be online. So with the Switch, like when you
Tis
put it
the
in
world.
sleep, it disconnects. And then you gotta go all the way back and all that shit. So
does it it auto saves though, right?
yeah, it'll save
It
from whatever.
would have to.
Yeah, whatever you was doing last or whatever the most, you know, save point. Usually, when I turn it back on, it be on like the 2K TV. Cause like I'm loading into to a game or whatever.
Who do they have on there now?
I don't even know.
Because they used to have old Rachel on there,
Yeah,
and everybody liked her.
Yeah,
they
was
got her
nice.
up out of there.
Yeah, it's a black chick now though.
Man,
whoever she is.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, shout out to her. I don't know what her name is.
The toxic masculinity's coming out of me right now.
Yeah, she on there, and there's another dude on there too. So a white dude. But I don't know if cause like they start off the episode together, but you know it's like a 30-minute episode or something. It's like 20 minutes. So I don't know if he be on there all the time. If he do some of the interviews, if they switch on and off, I'm not sure how it works. Cause I only watch bits and pieces of it, just enough.
Skip.
Exactly. Sometimes I answer some of the little quiz questions that they ask you because that give you a little VC. It's a little
like
shit
one
that.
VC.
Yeah, exactly. So I did that. I mean, I've been trying to do that, and then I've been playing Ultimate Alliance though.
Oh yeah,
I haven't been playing that yet because I bought the expansion with the little DLC characters, and they come with Morbius, Blade, Moon Knight.
That's a tight pay. That's
Punisher.
up your alley right there.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because, which I guess I can talk about this later, but I've been watching that Spider-Man 1995 one too.
Mm-hmm.
So I just recently seen Morbius.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And watched that whole thing happen or whatever.
He was always cool to me on the cartoon.
Mm-hmm. But then But yeah, so I unlocked those. I unlocked Punisher, Blade, and Moon Knight, but not Morbius. The little task that you gotta do, cause it's like gauntlet mode where you gotta go through these 4 little
different rounds of fights. Yeah.
Without you don't get to go back and like heal up and stuff. You just gotta survive.
That just makes me think of wrestling. Maybe like, you're gonna be in a gauntlet match tonight,
exactly.
Kofi, and fight everybody you're not supposed to be.
Exactly. So it's just it just be like random bosses and stuff. But the one for Morbius is actually kind of hard.
Man.
But then also I switched out my team because the team that I had been running with was Venom, Gwenpool. Spidey, Gwen. Who else? Oh yeah, Ghost Rider and Deadpool. Okay. That's why I said Gwenpool, but I meant Spidey, Gwen, or whatever.
Everybody that's dead.
That was my squad. They the best. They my favorite so far and the strongest that I have as far as characters go. Cause I mean, like I said, they my favorite. And that's who I play with the most. So I just swapped out Deadpool for Blade and Ghost Rider for Moon Knight.
Okay.
Because Moon Knight is super tight.
Yeah.
On there.
He was tight on the first Marvel Alliance game. That's how I figured out about him. Mm-hmm. I use him a lot on there.
Yeah, he's super, super tight on there. Blade is okay. Like, I feel like he could have been better as a character. And I didn't try to Punisher because on there, I don't really care about like guns.
Yeah, it's kind of
like,
weird.
Yeah, it's kind of that's kind of why I was.
Well, not weird, but it's not as fun.
And that's why I was hesitant to run with Deadpool, but that's my boy, so
yeah,
I pretty much
made an
biased.
exception.
Yeah, pretty much biased. That's about it as far as people who got like guns and stuff. I'm like, Punisher, you don't even do nothing. You just shoot the club.
Yeah,
up,
you just
like,
upset.
Yeah, just an angry white dude shooting up the club. I'm not gonna. That's a different conversation. It's crazy, but shoot. That's about it as far as that. I mean, like I said, I mentioned I was watching that Spider-Man. I've been watching that. I'm pretty like it's like I don't know how many episodes is on there, but I think I'm on like 30 or something like that.
Yeah, it's like 50 something.
Yeah, I watched a decent
maybe
amount for sure.
Yeah, it's not as many. And I was kind of surprised when I saw that because, I mean, I never really knew, but for some reason in my head I'm thinking it's like 100 episodes or something.
And I think it did, and like, because I looked it up yesterday because I wanted to see, but I think the way that they got it set up is the seasons were shorter at that time. Yeah. And then it's like 5 seasons, but on each season they got like 3 or 4 episodes basically. That's how it was on Wikipedia or whatever. Yeah. But, I don't know the actual structure as far as like being on TV or whatever.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. That's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, you been on this double jobbing still. You been keeping up with that. You ain't conking out yet.
Not this time. Normally I do, especially when I'm like, I'm cool. Get on up out of here. Thanks for the shirt. But this time, though, I wanted to.
Do you have shirts in every interview?
Is it a t-shirt? Yes. I'll take it. But no, I've been trying to, I want to stick it out. I actually like this job or whatever. Yeah. So I want to stick around, at least if it's just in the background or whatever, background noise. Because I talked to my manager about like the hours I had, which I was working a lot of hours the last couple of weeks because somebody was on vacation anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I was pretty much picking up the slack, but now I shouldn't be working that often. Or at least probably just do like weekend action or something like that. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just still get some extra money, but I'm trying to chill.
I can dig that. What was I about to say? Like, really nothing. I ain't really had shit to talk about. Yeah. I've been so busy and recording the same day my daughter's 6th birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, it just makes me sad. Time flew, man. And I remember, it sounds kind of goofy, but because she just turned 6 and then the PlayStation 4 is 6 years old. And I was like, oh, yeah, that was a good year.
I did do that. I forgot about that. Yeah, wow, interesting.
Yeah, see what my priorities were.
Yeah, you was playing real life my play.
Oh, man, but I haven't done anything, like just random stuff. Like, I haven't really played the game. Because Persona 5, the Royal got officially well, I don't want to say officially announced, but the release date for the U.S. got announced as March 30th, 2020. So another March game.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's gonna be like a deluxe version of Persona 5 with new characters and like some new story beats and stuff like that. And I still haven't beat regular 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I only have like 3 passes left. So I'm like, man, I just need to get through it.
It's like a detective game or something, right?
Basically, because you gotta. Well, how do I put it? Yeah, they're kind of detectives because they gotta kind of figure out.
But you gotta go to school and stuff too.
Yeah. You go to school. Like right now, where I'm at in the story, like I said, I'm only 3 houses left, or like the dungeons you go through.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially, like you just said, you go to real high school, you play in the real world, but there's like the dark other dimension that you travel to. So you kind of like have to fight the people in the dark dimension to save them in the real world, basically, or try to stop the crimes in the real world. You got to go to like the palace dimension and stuff.
Oh, okay.
You got to like steal their heart or whatever.
Yeah.
To like try to purify them and da. So I think I'm at the point where I have all the characters in my team available, but there's still a lot to do. And like the clock on my game is like 135 hours, which a lot of that is just it's sitting there when I would just leave it on.
Chilling.
But yeah, if I stick to it, it should probably only take hopefully another 15 hours tops, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If I do it the right way. So I want to beat it before the new one comes out, because I definitely pre-ordered the special edition on Amazon because it comes with a like the soundtrack and like the steelbook and like the mask Joker wears and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I want that shit.
That's tight.
So I got it because I got the collector's edition on the first one too. They came with like the school bag he has and shit. So I got that together. What else have I done that I think I haven't done? That's it. Really, like I haven't touched the game. Like Call of Duty Season 1 came out. I know you kind of played that a little bit. Did you get the Battle Pass?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bought it. I went on ahead and got it. It ain't really nothing. It's like a new little character chick, and they actually
no crying.
They actually put a whole bunch of stuff in the store. Like, cause before it was like empty in the little store, which I didn't buy none of that stuff because Call of Duty little stuff that you buy is kind of expensive. But yeah, so I just got it just came with a couple little characters or whatever, some new chick, some new outfits and stuff. It actually unlocks stuff pretty quickly. Like you don't have to do like a whole bunch. I don't really know like what you got to do specifically. I haven't really paid attention if it's like just getting points or if you gotta like do certain, because you know the
challenges and stuff like that
kind of stuff too. So I don't know, maybe you just get amount of points based on like different challenges that you do. I didn't really read the instructions or whatever, you know. It's Call of Duty,
be there somehow.
Exactly. So and they put a whole bunch of more missions on there too. There's more missions on there,
like the barracks missions. Okay,
so you can unlock like character skins now. It's stuff
nice.
for specific characters. It's stuff for, you know, weapon skins and those little blueprints where you get the little upgraded version of weapons or whatever. It's that kind of stuff. But it's a lot more, and it's something that's like locked too. And I don't know how you got to unlock them or what you got to do to get to them. Maybe you got to finish a certain amount of the old ones. Or what. But, there's that. Some new maps on Gunfight.
Yeah, I seen that.
It's docks. I mean, not docks, because that was already one. It's cargo. So you're on like a cargo ship.
Yeah.
And then it's one that's like in a palace. I can't think of what it's called, but it's real small. It's like the smallest one out of all of the gunfight maps.
Yeah, have they switched up the gun rotations at all on those maps, or?
What you mean? Like,
because before it kind of seemed like it was a set list of guns they would let you use in the gunfight mode.
Yeah, it's still that. I feel like they added like some new ones. Yeah. Like it's some different. Because I think it might be one new gun, but I'm not sure. I don't remember that for
just
sure.
Just in general, you mean?
Yeah. But as far as like the gunfight goes, I think that they like shuffled up the stuff that you get. You know, this gun with this gun instead this time, or you know whatever. But they still give you them classic like matchups like 357 and a 725 or whatever. Yeah. That stupid butter knife gun. But that's what me and Space Fan Leezy been calling it with that big ass handle on the side of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Butter knife, man. That mother sucks. But yeah.
I did see an article saying I think they're gonna add 3v3 and 3v3 and 1v1. I think.
Oh, that'd be tight. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, 1v1 would be pretty intense.
Yeah. I guess that would be cool, like, if you was playing. Because sometimes I know I get on there and I don't have nobody else to run with as far as, like, two. Either I don't have another one person or it'd be, like, three people online or something. So it's like, I guess that would be cool. But that'd definitely be intense, though, for sure.
Especially, that'd be tight.
They put that old map on there, too, for Modern Warfare, Crash. It's the helicopter crash down.
I did see Doc Disrespect playing on there.
Yeah, they added that on there, and there's some other like, it's a new game mode. It's called Revive or Retrieve or something like that. It's something like
those are two totally different things.
Well, it's the same.
Well, maybe not.
It's the same in the way that it's like you gotta get kills or something to bring your teammates back or something like that. Like you gotta do something like that. But I haven't
like dodgeball.
Yeah, something like that.
It kind of makes me think of that.
I haven't played it, so I don't know exactly for sure what you gotta do. I just read like you kind of just looking through the menus and it said new bias, so I just read it and it was like you gotta go get your teammates from over there and bring them back over here. I don't know. I ain't actually tried to check. Like I said, I just happened to see it as far as like new stuff on there or whatever.
What else is happening game wise that's relevant to anything? I don't know. Game Awards are coming up. We talked about that last episode.
Yeah. Which I don't know the exact date, but I know that they doing it's like ranked battles or some new like ranked thing on Pokemon this month.
Yeah, I think it might have started already actually because I think sign-ups and I don't even have a team yet, so I'm not even worried about it.
Yeah, not one.
But I think it started like top of the month, possibly.
Yeah. Let's see.
Also, PlayStation wise, Titanfall 2 is free this month if you have PlayStation Plus. Then like a motocross game. I was like, God damn, I'll just add it anyway. But Titanfall 2 for free is a tight deal. I know. I was talking to like Adam and Matt and those guys about it because we played that back then. Like when it first came out, and it was tight. I think you might have played it a little bit, didn't you? Maybe I can't remember.
Play what?
Titanfall 2.
Yeah, I had played for like a second.
Yeah,
I think I had it on Xbox or something.
Okay, or maybe I think you might have just played the first one. But I think
that's what it was.
Yeah,
the first one, because that was when I first got my Xbox. That was like one of the first games.
I know I didn't play 2 with you on PS4, but I know like the people that have stuck to that game are the people that are really good. So I'm sure like there's gonna be a lot of noobs on there that are playing it for free. So, but it's really fun. Like it got the short end of the stick, which is kind of everybody knows. But it's coming out when Call of Duty and Battlefield both came out at the same time, just didn't make any sense.
It's a tough market.
So, but it was definitely the better shooter from that year, like 2016 or whatever that was. So yeah, if you haven't played Titanfall 2, you should. Especially, and I haven't played the whole campaign, but that's something a lot of people really lauded as being a big part of that, which a lot of single players these days in shooters no one really cares about, especially when the focus is multiplayer. But yeah, man, I really don't have nothing else. Not a lot of things going on news wise, like generally. We're gonna talk about PlayStation, like I said at the beginning, but did you see that they're gonna make which I'm not surprised, they're gonna make some prequel novels for the Avengers?
Yeah, I did see that. I want to say I actually read that article, but I'm not because I'm not sure.
Did you read Chapter 5, Marlon?
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
But this came out of IGN. The extension key is going to be the novel that is the prequel for the Avengers Square Enix game. It's going to be, the novel will follow the Avengers and their allies as they battle an ancient organization called the Zodiac. The Avengers, consisting of Cap, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Hulk, joined forces with other heroes like Doctor Strange, Dr. Voodoo, and the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents to stop the Zodiac from obtaining a weapon called the Zodiac Key. The extension key is written by Greg Keyes, who was a New York Times bestseller, and it's going to be released March 31st, 2020. And I believe this is a partnership between Marvel and Square and Titan Books and all this stuff. I don't know why Marvel didn't do it themselves, but I guess it's just kind of a partnership. I don't understand business.
Mm-hmm.
But that's cool. I'm hoping this is gonna be a book that's gonna make me more excited about the game.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm just kind of like lukewarm on it, even though I'm pretty sure I'll end up playing it. Like I've said multiple times, but whatever. Yeah. I'm not like, oh man, I can't wait for Avengers to come out. Because what that comes out in May, I think. I believe so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Middle of May, some end of May, but yeah, I'm hoping the book is gonna bring a little more excitement. Cause right now, yeah, like I said, it's just like, I'm not really, I don't care
either. I'm still playing Ultimate Alliance. So that's, that's getting my Marvel Avengers and them fixed.
Yeah. What was something else that I saw really quick before we get to the main topic here? Boondocks wise, I know people online were like, oh man, it would be cool if Jennifer Lewis would play a grandma to Huey and Riley on Boondocks, since Grandpa's not gonna be there anymore.
R.I.P. Pops.
And she was, and it wasn't even like an official thing, but you know how Twitter goes and stuff. She's like, yeah, that'd be cool, and everybody's like, oh man, that'd be tight. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, because we had mentioned it like a month ago, like what can they do with the Boondocks to since it's coming back on the reboot next year or whatever, like how can they revive that without, him being there? So, I mean, that would make sense because Jennifer Lewis is like, she's like one of the most famous, like, black mom actors, like, on TV, sure. Especially on Blackish right now.
Yeah, she definitely has that same, like, mom and pop's reputation that John Witherspoon had for sure.
Got that attitude, that spunk and all that stuff. Gonna talk shit to everybody.
Hit you with a house shoe.
Yeah.
Hit you with a slipper real fast. Bust your ass.
But nah, that'd be tight. I just wanted to point that out real quick.
Yeah, that would be cool. I like Jennifer Lewis. I mean, like you said, she's definitely a household name, whether you actually know her name or not. That's
like,
kinda,
that face.
Yeah, that's the kind of star status that she has.
Well, I guess we can talk about PlayStation stuff, man, because it's 25 years of PlayStation in Japan years.
Nice.
Because it came out in 94 in Japan. What if that was a thing? Is that really a thing? Because, like, they always get to the new year before we do.
Yeah, I mean, kinda, just because of, like, them. It's like Japan 5 hours. Years. Yeah, for sure. So, technically, they do got a couple probably, like,
In Black years, we're, like, a lot behind. But that's a different discussion. But
that's the second time now. Hey, we're going to have to change the show. We're going to have a whole new... whole new thing.
It wasn't bad.
No, I mean, mine wasn't either. It's just relevant.
Depends on who you ask, baby.
It's just relevant.
But I shall ask you, Marlon, as a man born in 93? So you were only like 2 or 3 when PlayStation came out.
Yep, I was a little kid.
We've kind of talked about PlayStation before, but it's fitting now because 25 years is pretty big. And plus we're moving into a new decade and a new system launch coming out. So what are your earliest memories of PlayStation? What do you think you really take note of back in the 90s or early 2000s, I guess?
I'm trying to even think because I don't even know if we had a PlayStation 1 in my house. I feel like we did, but I was a baby. So it would be hard for me to remember that. But I definitely remember that first day, or maybe not the first day or whatever, like when the PlayStation 2s first came out. I do remember like having that and like, but I don't really remember playing nothing on it. Because there was those times, like, I still was a kid, so I think that was mostly for my dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew about it, and I probably played with him on there, whatever. We probably played together.
Gave you the fake controller.
But I had, I was playing the Genesis, and I spent a lot of time by myself in the room, so that's pretty much, I think, like, as far as that goes. But when I really started to, like, get into PlayStation, again, was, like, PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
Because I had it too, like I said, and I had my own PlayStation 2, as well as my dad having one. But I don't know. I guess at least right now, I don't really remember. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's
really,
all the days.
Yeah, really getting on there and playing it. But I really started playing PlayStation again. Like, once everybody, like my friends who I was playing with, stopped playing Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And then I bought my own, because at this time I was really working and I had my own money and shit. So I bought my own PlayStation 3.
Is that the first system you bought on your own? I would think so, I guess.
So.
From context in the story.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was the first system that I bought on my own, unless maybe I bought like a handheld, maybe like a DS or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I backtracked for that or something. But no, I think this was my first. It was definitely my first credit card purchase. That's for sure.
The lifelong troubles of credit card.
Yeah, it was definitely my first credit card action. But yeah, and then I started playing PlayStation pretty much from that point. That was like 2013.
Yeah.
2012. And then I've been playing that shit ever since. PlayStation, it's been my primary system.
Ever since. I was thinking, like, because you saying it like that, because you're only, 2.5, 3 years younger than me, whatever, however that works.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still like a weird gap. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of depends on how you grow up, because to me, having an older brother, like, I had, like, all that stuff already somehow, somewhere, and my mom getting it. So, like, I guess I feel like I have this, like, memory of, like, everything PlayStation for so long. Because I was thinking, like, when I knew I was, like, I really like video games was when, like, PS2 came out. Mm-hmm. I knew I liked video games, Genesis and PlayStation 1 and stuff. But when I'm thinking, like, oh, this is when, like, I became a gamer, if you want to use that term, whatever. It was, like, definitely PlayStation 2 or, like, GameCube era. Because I'm thinking, like, Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that is kind of, like, when, to me, that's when, like, video games really became, like, a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, like, a fact or anything, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, do you have memories of Grand Theft Auto? Because that's kind of, like, the biggest thing.
And playing Grand Theft Auto, like, because at that time, you could pretty much go over anybody's house and they had Grand Theft Auto, and you could just, like, take turns.
Any age, not supposed to be playing them.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I would agree, because that's actually what I was thinking when you said Grand Theft Auto. I got a real, like, vivid memory of, it was like, we had a little party. So it was like after we moved into the house that my parents live in now, which was like 2001. And we had a little party and it was people over, but I was still a kid, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't doing nothing, just like running around. And I remember, like, my dad being outside talking to some people, and I'm like, yo, this is a perfect opportunity to be like, let me play Grand Theft Auto. You out here, y'all ain't doing nothing. So I went out there, and because everybody was out there, kind of put him on the spot. And like, all right, I don't care, whatever. And I went in there, turned it on. Everybody was watching, because, of course, that's kind of the thing with Grand Theft Auto. As far as, like, people being around, everybody just kind of watching, seeing what you're going to do with your time on there or whatever.
Because we can go back to PlayStation 1 in a second, but I really want to emphasize this point, because I had just been thinking about it, like, this week, how, like I was saying, for me, that was when, like, games really became a thing. And that's when, like, open world games really started. Mm-hmm. And just, like, and violence in video games had already been a topic. But that's definitely when people was like, man, this shit getting too real. Like, you really were just running around town, like, shooting whoever you want, the block, doing anything you want to do. And, like, when you go, I haven't played GTA 3 or Vice City and those in a while. But I remember those like maps seeming like so big.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm thinking like the maps was not that big.
No, they wasn't. And most of
the
the time, unless you was putting in cheats and stuff, or you was actually playing the game as far as like doing missions and stuff, most of the time you couldn't even go in all the places.
Yeah,
you had to do certain missions, to get to unlock certain areas or whatever. So yeah, that it really wasn't. I mean, I guess maybe it was groundbreaking for like the time, but to us,
that's how I remember it.
Being like, oh shit, I catch just running around anyway.
And that was kind of when, as far as like I remember, commercials too was that era, because like Grand Theft Auto commercials was like the craziest ones. They had like "Welcome to the Jungle" on Vice City, or it might have been San Andreas. And yeah, that was San Andreas, and Vice City was Phil Collins in the Air Tonight or whatever. I just remember it was like so vividly or whatever. And I'm like, man, I gotta get these. And my mom be like, wait till Christmas. Which I'm happy my mom let me play them games, really, because I don't know how many parents didn't let their kids play them, but shoot, most people I knew got to play that shit. For sure. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal.
I feel like, and because of the kind of kids that we were kind of just on our own for the most part. You know what I'm saying? I mean, both of my parents was at work all the time, so I guess even if they told me I couldn't play it unless they put it away or something,
it's like, where they go really do?
I was probably gonna play that shit anyway.
You say you don't really remember PlayStation 1 like that, so you don't really have any memories of like playing Crash or like Ape Escape or any of those games back then, really?
Maybe Crash, but I feel like most of the Crash that I ever played was like handheld. So no, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's goofy to me, man. That's really weird.
Yeah,
Cause I don't know, like I would think I could ask anybody like in the 90s if they played Crash or like Spyro or stuff like that.
I did play Spyro though, so yeah. I mean, and that's the same thing, I guess, as far as like time goes. Yeah. But no, I didn't really. I mean, but I'm just trying to even think. Like, I'm gonna have to ask my dad really if we even
had games,
had that stuff. Yeah, because like I said, I mean, like for you, having an older brother kind of put you in that place anyway. But like for me, since it was just me, when my dad had time to play, which shit, he didn't even have time to really be at the crib that much. You know what I'm saying? So it's like shit. I didn't really, like I said, most of the stuff I played, I was playing by myself.
Yeah, that is just that's a revelation a little bit, cause I just remember that whole era, I guess, cause I don't even remember why my brother got a PlayStation, cause my mom bought the first one we had at Target on 38th Street. Like I remember vividly, like walking out, cause it was nighttime. And I remember that was like the first time I remember like prices of something being like crazy. She was like, I just spent $300 on this thing. And I'm like, $300? Like, that's crazy. Yeah. And then she ended up, what you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, so like, how old was you? Like 8?
Nah, like, cause this was, I mean, we was living out west. I mean, I've always lived out west for the most part, but this was after we had moved. Like the first time I remember moving. So it was like, in PlayStation here came out in 95. So I feel like we got it in 90. It had to have been like 96, 97 when we got it. Because we didn't move to like, I don't remember really exactly, but it was like close to 96. It was like fall time. I don't even know, but I just remember that vividly. And then at some point I got my own PlayStation. I don't know, because my mom had a bag somewhere. Like she just was able to get one or what, but because my brother wasn't trying to share like that. So she was like, get your own, I guess. Well, that's tight. So I remember having to share memory cards a little bit, though, or something like that. So that was pretty annoying. Do you remember that, like, at all? Because I remember, like, because Genesis and, like, Nintendo, so you didn't need a memory card. But I remember that being a thing. It's just like, man, what is, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is this?
Yeah, especially on PlayStation 2. Well, that's where, where I really would have gotten a memory card feel at, I guess. And then at that time, so it was still like my dad's PlayStation, but I'll have my own memory card basically. So it was like separate. So That's nobody shit didn't get deleted by accident. I don't think I was ever one of those people that was deleting people's saves and shit, but you know, those people
I don't
exist.
get them people like just do stupid stuff. Like what
like
do you
when
do?
one buddy came over, and this is kind of off the topic, but I was playing Pokemon and I had went outside or something, let the dogs out or something, and I came back and she was on my Switch and had turned Pokemon off and shit. And I was like, damn, man, what are you doing, man? Come on.
Like, why are you even messing with it?
Yeah, she was on the PlayStation. So I was kind of like, what? And I was like, nah, I'm still playing. Let me get that back. I wasn't done with that. But anyway. Yeah, that's just having a memory card and having to like swap them out and put it in the first slot before. I mean, as far as like the second slot, and having this one, it was black and that one was gray. I do remember that. And them mugs just laying all over the place like video game floppy
chips.
Yeah, exactly.
I still have, because I got my PS2 right over here, and I got that yellow one, and I had a black one, like the regular like looking black PS2 one, and I don't know what happened to it. I'm salty. Yeah. Because it had like a whole lot of stuff in there. But that one has like, I don't even know. It has some stuff. But it's just weird. I don't know. Point of the story is that whole concept of memory cards is just so crazy. I mean, now we got hard drives and stuff. You got a terabyte of this. Yeah. And the memory cards was only 8 megs or whatever.
Yeah, they was small as hell. They were nothing. But I guess games wasn't nothing either. Because, you know, I was looking in like, moving some stuff around on my PlayStation, like space-wise. Man, Call of Duty is like 150 gigs. Like, it's like 149.8 or something. Wow. But it's like,
round up, baby.
What, man?
That's fried.
That's crazy.
Was that after the update?
I think so, yeah. Because that shit was slow, and that's the reason why I was that's how I ended up looking at the data and stuff anyways, because I was trying to make some room. Or just, you know, shuffle some stuff around. I was like, damn, 150 gigs, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, I wonder, like, how much of that is I don't know how they compress stuff. But, what do they focus on in compression on memory and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like Pokemon, which that's like a smaller game in context to a lot of things. That's like 10 gigs or something. 8 gigs. And then, like you said, Call of Duty is like 150. It's like a whole different thing, what? Like spectrum of graphics and sound and stuff. But that's weird.
Talk about leaps and bounds. You wouldn't even, you had, like you said, them memory cards was 8 megabytes. Like, you wouldn't even have put like a quarter's worth of that game on there. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like, it wouldn't even have been close. You wouldn't even have been able to. That mode would have been like, That's crazy.
And you think about all the audio that we've put out, those are at least like 70 megabytes or something, at least 100 megabytes, and like the PlayStation things was on 8 megs. That's crazy.
Shit, it wasn't doing no saves. It wasn't you wasn't saving nothing.
You know, when I think about PlayStation, we had a lot of games. And like I remember Crash a lot, or at least the type of kid I was. I don't really remember what my brother played, cause we had the 64 too, so that kind of split his money and stuff like that. But on PlayStation, I remember like we had all the Crash, all the Spyro, and then I remember I had like a Yu-Gi-Oh later when that came out, which is goofy to think, cause you kind of remember like PlayStation 1 was from like 94, 95, and they didn't stop making games for it until like, you know, early mid 2000s, and when Yu-Gi-Oh was like 02, 03, something like that's pretty weird. Yeah, I remember that game was tough as hell though. I mean, I just sucked at Yu-Gi-Oh, but I remember buying it from like the clearance rack or whatever, like when they started doing like PlayStation hits with the green tab or whatever, like $20 or something. I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be tight. It's Yu-Gi-Oh, man. I couldn't even get past like the first level.
That mug crazy.
Do you have a lot of memories of that? Oh my bad, I cut you off.
Nah, I was just about to say, I know I have like of playing with like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and like having a game or two on my Game Boy or something, but I don't think I had that game on the PlayStation.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called. I have to look it up. And even like games that you just had trouble like getting through.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I remember when I was a kid, like there was a lot of games I could get through, and then there was some where I was just like I know I gave that story like about the Final Fantasy VII demo where I was like, I don't know where to go, and that was kind of where I was like, man, I'm not playing RPGs or whatever. Like I don't understand this at all. But like yeah, games like that where you just couldn't even get through as a kid. Cause I don't know if I really have those issues nowadays.
I do, but it's not because of difficulty. Right now, I think the only game that I have trouble getting through because of difficulty is Sekiro.
Yeah.
But everything else, I think it's just me and just my ability to like
just the comprehension of what they saying.
Keep playing it and like finish it up.
Yeah, sometimes it can be like the game not being clear, and then sometimes it can just be a misunderstanding, or maybe you did miss some like key text that you didn't know was key text. But yeah, I just remember back in like when I was a kid having trouble with some games like that, and I'd be like, and that's where I don't even know why I would even want to keep playing games, because it's like I felt like that happened enough times where it was annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to be like, man, I quit, man, I'm done.
Cause even but that was, I feel like that was mostly in the 90s though. There was sometime 2000s, whatever.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to think, but I feel like me not finishing games tracks back to
just forever.
Yeah, just being like, oh yes, this is so tight. I'm having the best time of my life. All right, I'm done.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think I've always been like that.
Cause you get like the feel of, you get that feel.
Yeah.
But like when I was a kid, cause even though I did have a fair amount of games, I feel like one, I didn't really know when another game was coming out. Cause like when you had Crash Bandicoot 1, and I know for a fact I never beat that until the new remake came out, remastered. But I remember beating Crash 2, and I remember beating 3, and like it took me a while. But I guess it's because like that was all I really had. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like I ain't have too many other options here.
Yeah.
And after a while, like 2000s when I had a collection, like I can go back and forth. But
yeah, and probably since you did, like you said, you only had a few games, so when you took a break, you know what I'm saying? Like you was like done. Like okay, I'm cool. I don't want to play this right now. So you wasn't playing much of anything else, or you know what I'm saying? Like like you said now, where you could pick up something else to occupy a different part of your brain, as far as like, oh, I'm interested in this now. This is really stimulating, and then coming back to it later. But at that point, you like, all right, I can't play that. I don't have that. So you just put it down, and then you would come back to it eventually. So it's like, it makes more sense that it would have taken you longer to finish that shit anyway, just because, like you said, like I don't know, I don't want to say lack of diversity, but just having more games to play and stuff.
Do you going back to like PS2? Because we talk about Midnight Club 3 a lot. Was that a game your dad played with you?
No, actually, because by that time when I really started playing PlayStation and stuff, PlayStation 2, I was playing more with my uncle. Like I was hanging out over at their house all the time, so I was playing with him more. But I mean, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he played it a little bit. He played, customized a few cars here and there and stuff. But I think it's like, once you have a kid, they pretty much handle the games and stuff for you. At that time, it's like, yo, they just deboed me off the TV. You know what I'm saying, or whatever.
I'm lucky I never really had that situation. I mean, it wasn't never too many people at my house like that when I'd be playing games and stuff. So I really didn't have them issues.
I would only have them because I would want to play, like have my dad watch or like play together. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be like, come on, turn it on, let's play the game.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played a game with my dad. Like to my recollection, I don't think I've ever played a video game with my dad before. Sad to say, I guess.
It's that's just like you said earlier, like just different upbringings.
Yeah.
Where people was at certain times.
Now playing video games with my brother,
which I
get
feel
annoying because he whooped my ass all the time.
And I almost feel like I would trade. You know what I'm saying?
Trade games.
Nah, like having a brother to play with rather than if I would be playing with my dad a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because then it's like a peer. It's different than playing with somebody that's like way older than you or something. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, get out my face.
Exactly. They don't really care that much, but do kinda, you know, or like you said, if you're playing with your brother,
your dad gonna hear this, be like, what?
He's like prideful of it, you know. Y'all had like a sibling rivalry, so he's like, nah, I'm not gonna take it easy. Get out of my face, you know. But come back because I need somebody to play this game with. Like,
especially on Mortal Kombat, you tear me up, man. I hate that shit. Or them damn wrestling games.
That's how I felt about sports games. I had to learn though, because I used to get emotional about losing. Like, as far as like playing the game goes, I was like, nah, fuck that. As I would be like, I'd be one of those people that's like breathing heavy and like eyes watering and shit. Like, nah, man, this ain't real. Of course it was though.
Do you I should have asked you this a long time ago. Do you have any like favorite, like, I'm not gonna ask you PlayStation 1, but like PlayStation 2 besides like Grand Theft Auto and like Midnight Club? Like, what do you think are like your favorite games from that system, if you even have any that you could think of that makes sense? I know you like FIFA Street.
No, I actually didn't play that till like I had a PSP. Oh yeah, that was like later.
Oh yeah.
But street games in general, like NFL Street and like NBA Street, for sure, definitely. I really like NFL Street.
Yeah, that's almost a cheat answer actually, because NBA Street was like, man, that was like the biggest thing like for a minute to me.
Yeah, for sure. Those games was
just
classics.
That era.
Yeah, for sure.
I couldn't do none of that shit real life.
And I would try, like, because we would go outside and play football, and the way that our houses was set up, there was like just enough room for it, so you know we would try that shit. But
backyard ball.
Yeah, of course. Let me think if I can think of anything else, because I think now that I'm thinking about it, most of the stuff I played, especially like on consoles, was like sports games. Actually, I didn't have a whole bunch of like adventure games that I can think of. Like, I know I had them, you know what I'm saying? But most of the time, I feel like, especially like on the consoles, I feel like I was playing like NBA Live or Madden or whatever.
That was something I was going to ask you too, was that with sport games back in like the 90s to like, I'll say to like 08, but especially in that PlayStation 2 eras when I feel like sport games was like, damn, like Madden, you know, 2K or like, you know, whatever, live and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, do you think sports games are better then than they are now? Or do you think that's just me thinking that way?
I think it was the time. I think it was just the time and like where sports was at that time for us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even like, cause when I started saying that, I was thinking like, well, even my dad was way more into sports than he is now. Like, he don't hardly watch no sports on TV now. But like at that time, like PlayStation 2 and like around that era, he was watching it and he was like doing fantasy football and stuff like that. So I feel like it was just sports at that time was just like, man, sports. You know, like, yes, I was trying to hoop today or whatever. I think it was just like that.
Because I feel like even in wrestling is kind of like that for me too. Where like, even with just the video games, like you can't make me play a wrestling game really now. Yeah. But back then, like, that shit was tight. Like,
yeah, for sure. And I don't even care about wrestling. And in those times, I played a few wrestling games or whatever. I remember specifically I had backyard wrestling on the PlayStation too.
I don't think I ever played. I remember that game, like the cover and stuff. But I don't think I ever played it.
ICP on it and shit. All that shit. And I didn't even really know. Like, I wasn't really into the culture. Like, I knew them and like why they was on the game, but just like
some crazy
backyard
shit.
Yeah, exactly. But just like the idea of like backyard wrestling, it's like I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like I have no idea.
You know what's funny about the ICP thing is that like those era of like dudes that was into there, like
them juggalos, they're crazy.
Like now, those are like 40-some-year-old dudes.
I just
like.
watched because you know Danny Brown got a show on Viceland or whatever. I just watched. He had them on there. Wow. He was talking to them, and they like. You could tell that they older. You know what I'm saying? Even though they wear makeup and stuff, but they just look like old dudes. Like it's just funny because. They probably like 45, like 50, going on 50 now, you know.
That's
still
wild,
like
man.
painting up their face like that. Still got people like juggalos running around in like big ass Jabot jeans with all the
creating them Jinko jeans and stuff.
Belt loops. I mean, chain link fences.
Chain link fences.
They was basically wearing chainmail, man.
That's funny.
When you think about it, they had hella chains on their pants, man. They still do.
With
They crazy.
Okay. Oh shoot. What was it? Yeah, but going back to sports a little bit, cause I remember like being like really being into Madden back then too.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like I think the last Madden I bought was probably like 2007 or 08. Cause I remember like 04 when Michael Vick was on the cover, like how crazy that was.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody wanted to play with the Falcons and stuff like that. I remember that a great deal.
Yeah, that. What was it? 2007 that had Ray Lewis.
I think so.
And then
I think so.
Cause I remember playing that one real heavy, and maybe 2000 and I want to say 3, but I don't know which one has Sean Alexander on the cover of it.
That was that wasn't 06. That was 05, I think.
And that's what I was gonna say, but I thought you
no, Ray Lewis is 05.
Oh, okay.
Sean Alexander's 07. Yeah, because
okay,
they went to the Super Bowl in 06. So yeah, he was and he was MVP that year.
Yeah, so playing that one a whole lot, but in those times, I didn't really have a favorite team or nothing. So I pretty much was only fucking with whoever was on the cover for the most part. You know, I like Jacksonville now, and I got that from my uncle or whatever. And just like watching him play, and that's who he would always pick and stuff. But
yeah,
I didn't really follow it as far as like on TV goes at that time.
You really even know who was on who and stuff.
You know, I knew it like the highlights basically.
Yeah.
Who was good or whatever. But
yeah, I was a Titans fan from like 98 to or like 99 to like sometime like 05 maybe, and then like I was a Jags fan, and I don't even because I was a Titans fan because I like McNair and Eddie George, and my brother liked them too. And then I liked the Jags for some reason. Like I liked because like my father got me a Jags jersey, that's why. And then because like Fred Taylor and Steve Smith and all them was still there. That was a long ass time ago.
Definitely was.
I don't even know why he got me that jersey. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the guy that was on. It was a
he
linebacker.
didn't even know you. He was just like sports. Every kid loves sports. Yeah. That was. I mean, to me, that just seems like what it was. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like every kid loves sports. Oh, look at this cool jersey. Like he like this.
I do. I remember getting it from Logo 7 though.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy. If anybody remembers Logo 7 at all.
Hey, man, shut up, man. Don't say I never bought you nothing.
I had a KG jersey from there too. Old Timberwolves jersey. That was tight.
Yeah, KG crazy.
But sport games I felt like I just enjoyed those a lot more back in the day. And I've bought 2K a few times in recent memory, but now I'm just I don't even want to even invest the time.
Yeah,
like,
and I was thinking about that too.
Like, at them really.
When was the last time that I was actually like hooping on 2K? Because right now, obviously, I mean, like my overall is like 80 something or something, just because I bought some VC or whatever. But you still end up sucking because you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, your skill as a player.
Can't do it. Yeah, you still got to be able to do the stuff and like buy the moves or whatever. But I was trying to think of like when was the last time that I was actually like really invested in 2K, and I feel like it was like 16, 17. Like
yeah, I remember you was playing pretty heavily that year too, whatever.
Yeah, 16, 17. And I want to say I skipped 13. Maybe I had 14. And I think I got back into it 15, and then from that point forward, that's when I was like, okay, I can play 2K again.
Yeah. And this is jumping around, but yeah, I remember because 2K, I always thought 2K was better since Dreamcast, but the masses didn't really jump on it till like 09, 010 when Kobe was on the cover in that era. But yeah, getting back on topic. Did you we talked about Midnight Club. Do you have any other like racing game memories? Because that's in like the sport area.
Yeah,
too.
I played hella Need for Speeds. I had the one that I feel like I played the most was What's that shit called? Need for Speed.
It was Hot Pursuit.
It was Pro Street.
Pro Street.
Yeah, it was Pro Street. Cause it was like
that was more recent, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I felt like, or maybe I don't know.
I had it on the PlayStation 2 though.
Pro Street.
Cause it was green.
I remember Most Wanted. Oh yeah. Pro Street. Yeah, that came out 2007. Okay, I didn't play that one.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. I played that one. Me and my dad. That was one that me and my dad played a lot. Because it was like half and half. You could still like customize your cars, and it was still like street stuff, but they had them like, you know, doing events and like circuits that were like kind of like how Forza got it set up like a festival on the island where people just kind of racing around, but it's like specific times for specific kind of races.
Okay.
It was like that. I played a lot of that because I like drag races on, you know what I'm saying? I like straight shots, just shoot it out, see who's gonna make it first, and that was like a big part of that game where it's like, because it was, like I said, events. And most of the time, drag races is really, like, the big thing as far as, like, street racing goes.
Yeah, I wonder what I did with Need for Speed them years, because I remember really liking the first Most Wanted. And that was, like, 05 or 06, maybe. But, yeah, Pro Street came out on PS3 and PS2, so it was in that in-between era when they were still doing that. So, yeah, I don't know what I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, but I did like my dad likes Need for Speed more than I do, for sure, as far as that goes. And that's now, you know, thinking about it, he played a lot of that and was like, you know, trying to get me to play, or we would play that stuff together.
Yeah, Need for Speed, and everybody, to my knowledge, was like really hype on Underground 1 and 2. That was when I really got into it. I remember playing like Hot Pursuit on like the computer for some reason. I don't even know why we had that on the computer. It's really goofy, but hey, Underground 1 and 2 was like super tight. And that was, of course, in the Midnight Club era too. And Fast and Furious. We gonna trick out all these cars and stuff. Yeah, Most Wanted was 05, because I remember playing it when I got in high school.
We had pretty much, I'm not gonna say we had all of these, but we definitely had a lot of these. Carbon, I remember Carbon real heavy. I remember my dad playing Need for Speed Carbon, and I was like not really into it that much. Not as much as I was like Most Wanted and like Underground and stuff.
Yeah, that new one just came out. That mug is it seems like people like it decently. I haven't heard anybody say it's like tight though.
Yeah, Need for Speed is so crazy how many, like, when you think about how long they've been making games for. It's one of those franchises that's been around. It's got like 40 games. It's been around a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Some of these Need for Speeds I ain't never even seen before.
Yeah, like Shift and shit.
I'm like,
Nitro.
What? All these ones that's from like
Undercover.
2000, like 1994. I didn't even know that they was making Need for Speed in 94.
I knew they had them like as on the computer. Hot Pursuit 2 or something. Hot Pursuit 3 or something. That's pretty weird. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, because I forgot how like damn near annual it was.
Need for
like
Speed
everything
was one
else.
Of them games for sure.
Which I don't know why they. I mean, I guess because it was selling well, they decided to. EA, of course.
And I actually played a lot of Need for Speed in 2015 too. Of that regular Need for Speed, it was just called Need for Speed.
Oh yeah, it's like let's just reboot it.
Yeah, I played a lot of that actually. I played the like story and all that shit.
I think I might have had the second Most Wanted too on PS3 or no, I had it on 360 maybe.
I had that one on the Vita or something.
Oh yeah.
PSP or something. No, it was a Vita.
Vita. Shit. What am I saying? What am I saying? PS3. So you got that? You said like 2012, 2013.
On my own. My dad did have one. You know, that was like the family room one or whatever. But
did he have a big one or did he have the slim?
Nah, he had a big one. I did too. I didn't have a slim either.
Okay. Yeah, because I got the slim in 2010 because PS3 came out with 06, and I got the slim 2010, so like 4 years later, whatever. Because like you were saying, everybody else was like on the 360 train for so long. Yeah. And I got it because I'm trying to remember exactly why, because I know I got Uncharted 2. And that might have been the reason why I ended up getting one. And plus, like, that was when I was like, I kind of got money now, so I can get my own.
Exactly.
I don't think that was the first console I bought myself, though. I think I know I got the 360 Elite console. and I think I bought that with my own money.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I bought the Vita on my own, but that was later.
Yeah, that was one too that I was gonna say that I bought on my own, but like you said, that was way down the road.
Yeah, with PS3, I feel like there's like a weird like. I don't really even know what people think about PS3 on like a general level. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody talks about 360 so much.
Yeah, and being like, man, 360 is the best.
But like, you know, there's a lot of people that like Uncharted. Like, I tried to ask people on Facebook. One of my friends, Julie, said she liked Uncharted a lot, which I thought was interesting. But, like, I like number 2 a lot. And I've talked about that, whatever. But, yeah, just in terms of, like, how people on the general feel about it. Because there's a lot of people like Last of Us, which came out way later. And then, you know, like you said, Uncharted 1 through 3 was on the PS3, which is pretty weird to think about. Because we don't get sequels like that really anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
But, yeah, I don't even know. Like, what do you think about that console?
I mean, I liked it. I mean, of course, like I said, I bought it because pretty much the people who I was playing Xbox with, which it was only like 2, they stopped playing it. They really just kind of got off the game in general. So at that time, I started playing online with like my uncle and like some like family members that had PlayStations basically. And I mean, it was fun. I had a good time with my PlayStation, especially because I bought it in 2012 or whatever, 13 maybe, or like the end of 2012 or whatever. And then that next year, then Grand Theft Auto came out, and I was playing hella Grand Theft Auto. Lots of Grand Theft Auto 5 or 4.
5, yeah. Well, because Grand Theft Auto 4 came out 2008, I think.
And I do remember playing 4, but that was still on the PlayStation in the living room. That was obviously before I got my own PlayStation.
Let me ask you about Grand Theft Auto 4, because to me, I don't know why I said like I'm Oprah or something. Let me ask you about your time in Afghanistan. But I don't know. I don't have fond memories of Grand Theft Auto 4. Like, initially, I'm like, oh, man, this shit look tight. And then after, I was like, man, I don't like this game like at all.
I mean, it was cool. I think that Grand Theft Auto 4 was the first one that I was, like, serious about doing the missions and like playing the actual game of Grand Theft Auto. And I wouldn't say that I cared about the story though. Like I didn't care about Nico Bellic and like what he had going on. Yeah, I did remember that for whatever reason. But yeah, it was cool. It was like I want to say it was like an immigration story basically.
Yeah, because he was from Russia, right, or something.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I remember playing a lot of it. But I really don't remember like what it was about besides it. I remember the dating stuff being like really lame to me. Yeah. Like the cell phone stuff and everything. I'm like, I don't want to do this at all. Like, this is dumb.
It was like a crossover. They was trying to be more like Sims or something.
Yeah. I didn't like that.
But I guess too it was like you said, like 2008 and internet dating was really, really kind of going at that time.
Them playing off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I never played those DLCs for that. Like the Gay Tony.
Oh, yeah. No. I think I had them. But I think I had ended up getting Grand Theft Auto on the Xbox or something for some reason. And then that's where I had the DLC.
Yeah, probably it was like a 1-pack or something, a combo pack.
For some reason I had it on the 360, or I ended up getting it on the 360, and I had that DLC on there. But I didn't really play it, though.
Yeah, and that was also, because Grand Theft Auto, you had kind of mentioned it earlier, where the cheat codes were a big part of them, like Vice City and stuff. And then when 4 came out, they still had cheat codes, but you had to, like, do them in, like, a weird way.
Yeah, you could put them in, but you also didn't get any trophies or achievements or anything either. They would take away that option for you to get that if you put in cheats. Or you would have to do it on a separate save and then go back if you just want to run around and do random stuff with cheats and stuff. But yeah, and I think that kind of also took away from Grand Theft Auto 4, what you was getting out of like 3 and Vice City and San Andreas. Because putting in cheats on those games was like a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't like,
I mean, shit, they made the cheat codes.
Exactly. It wasn't. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't like if you was playing like Uncharted or something, and you was using some cheats to get further in the. You was just using them to. I want to drive this car. Exactly. I want to have this bulletproof car.
Yeah,
you know,
tank
fly
in the freeway.
Exactly. I want to fly an airplane or something goofy. It was like goofy stuff like that. So it was kind of like, why wouldn't that be a part of it? If, like you said, y'all making them, y'all the ones who put the stuff in there for us to use. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, like, because I get it. It is cheat codes or whatever. But at the same time, like, that was a part of the game. Like, that was a part of the culture with playing Grand Theft Auto. Was like, what cheats do you know? What kind of, you got Infinity Money? You got, you know, whatever. So, yeah, I think that kind of made it, like, watered Grand Theft Auto 4 down for a lot of people, I feel like.
I'm trying to think, because, like, PS3, because, you know, now we think of PlayStation 4, it's like, oh, man, got all the exclusives and stuff, which is tight. But, like, PS3, I'm trying to think how many exclusives that really people knew about it for, besides, like, Uncharted and then God of War, which I haven't talked about yet, but I'm trying to Last of Us. I'm trying to think what other stuff was, like, notable that people really cared about. Because when I got a PS3, I was like, this is going to be like what I play all my single player stuff on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember I got Fallout 3 and New Vegas on there and, you know, like I said, Uncharted and a couple other things. Like I said, 360, I was like, this is where I'm going to play Call of Duty and all this other shit. So, like, I'm trying to think, like, what I really... that's mostly what I associated with is Uncharted, like, single player stuff. But when you think about like how PlayStation is now, that's damn near not where it was then a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because 360 had exclusives and stuff like Gears and things like that.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the list. I remember these games like Metal Gear Solid 4. That was the first Metal Gear Solid where I realized that I had like a smidgen of like anger. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had like some anger issues there, or just being like upset and not knowing how to deal with it. Because, as a matter of fact, that also goes back to a game that I just couldn't beat that you asked me about earlier. And I couldn't think of. Metal Gear Solid 4. And I had to fight, he was like a vampire, and you had to like inject him with this fucking syringe, and it was... That was the first time that I punched a hole in the wall. I'll just say it like that.
Oh, man. So, you're about to start an intervention, Marlon.
I don't need it now. I'm good now. Yeah, I needed it then when I was playing that shit. I'm cool now. I can talk about it now. Yeah. But at that time, that Metal Gear Solid, boy, it was... it was something else.
And I haven't said anything about Metal Gear because I don't have Metal Gear memories until 5 came out. For whatever reason, like I've never been like a big stealth game person, but also like I associate stuff with my brother. He didn't have Metal Gear as far as I know. He didn't play any of that stuff. And my brother didn't have a PS2 actually either. Cause he had the Xbox. He chose that side for whatever reason. I'm gonna ask him about that, but yeah, so he didn't play Metal Gear, so I never even I knew about it from like friends, but I was like I never really cared. And when I finally got to it, I was like, okay, I don't really understand. It's like I just can't play a slow game like this. Like I can't do it. But anyway, that's interesting. You brought that up though. And that is one of the like main PS3 things. That was like the first big exclusive I think they had that people like cared about.
Killzone I think too was one of them that was like they was trying to like compete
like with Halo and stuff.
Because Killzone was pretty popular if you was into PlayStation at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think that it was popular on a scale like how Gears is, like where everybody knows it. But I think for that specific time, it was like, damn, Killzone, wow. Because I never played it on a console. I only had played it for real on a PSP. That was when I really was into Killzone. They had that one on PSP that was super fun.
And I mentioned God of War, because God of War 1 and 2 came out on PS2. And I was a big fan of those. And then 3 came out on PS3. That's whatever. That's made me sound so repetitive. But did you play those at all? Like then at least.
No. Wait, which game did you say?
Like any of the God of Wars.
Yeah, no,
then.
I played them. Okay, yeah, I played them, but I didn't ever beat them or nothing.
Yeah.
And because by the time I got my PlayStation, my own PlayStation 3, they was pretty much chilling.
Yeah.
As far as making, you know what I'm saying? They was pretty much out and like established.
Mm-hmm. Because when did God of War 3 come out? 2010. Damn, 2010.
Yeah.
Which that makes sense because I was like, I think I got it like around the time I started living alone or living with Letitia, so that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, because 1 and 2 I remember like really liking those. I beat 1, and then 2 I got stuck on something. And I was like, all right, I don't even know what I'm doing. And I remember trying to read a guide, and I was like, I don't understand what they're saying, so I'll just do something else. And then 3, I remember I thought that one was like, I don't know if I thought it was easy or maybe I just didn't play it on hard mode, but I thought that one was pretty tight. And that was like, yeah, that was pretty nice. And I didn't realize how many people don't like Kratos. I've talked about that, but I was like, he's just a meathead that likes killing stuff. Like I don't really know. Like he's a torn soul.
That's
but
what they do.
I remember, Demon Souls came out in 2009, which is the precursor to Dark Souls and Bloodborne and all that stuff. Which I didn't play that until like way later. Nobody even really knew what it was for the longest. That was like a cult thing. Were you ever into Ratchet and Clank or like Jack and stuff?
Yeah, I had that. I had Jack and Dexter too. But those was handheld games that I played the most of. That you know what I'm saying. I was playing.
You and your handhelds.
Hey man, when you by yourself, you know, but you still want to hang out with your dad. You gotta, like he was not trying to let me get on the TV at all. He was like watching TV. You know what I'm saying?
Boy gone.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't really. Because if he wasn't, like, out in the garage working on a thing out there, you know, a car or somebody's truck or some shit, he wasn't really interested in playing the game as much as I was. Because I wasn't really interested in being in the garage. So I'm like, no. So he put a TV out there, and then I went to hang out there all the time. And I put a game out there. I would take my game out there sometimes. The GameCube and shit. That was fun to be in the garage at that time, but...
Yeah. Did you play Gran Turismos at all?
I think at one point we might have had a steering wheel and stuff, and I did.
Man, them steering wheels was crazy back in the day. People were really into that shit.
That shit was crazy. But I wasn't. That was more of my dad. If we had that, and if we had that steering wheel, it's because my dad wanted that.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Because he liked.
You gotta really like racing. Get a steering wheel in the crib.
Which that makes sense. If I'm saying like he wanted to be in the garage working on cars and shit, he would want to play a more realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like he would be much more interested in Gran Turismo. Yeah. But nah, I'm like, nah.
I think the first Gran Turismo I played was 2 or 3. I think it was on the PS2, and I just remember like playing it at my friend's house, and it was like the start of the game. I think he rented it from like Blockbuster or something. And I remember I chose like a Nissan or something to drive. And I'm like, man, this shit is too real. Like, I'm going like 60 miles per hour.
Cars
like,
was heavy as hell. It wasn't like, skirt. He wasn't like whipping it or nothing. It was just like,
like, I'm cool on this, man.
Oh.
Like, I'm so cool. I could not do it, man.
Yeah,
that was rough.
Yeah, Gran Turismo was definitely for the real ones.
Did you when did you play The Last of Us? Did you play it on PS3 first, or was it until the remastered came out?
No, I played that on the PS3.
Yeah.
I remember going to GameStop and get that though.
Yeah.
Cuz I think when did that come out?
2013.
Yeah, so I had already moved out and stuff at that time. So yeah, I did play that. That's crazy. I don't think about the past at all. I don't know nothing.
Sorry, Marlon. I'm bringing up stuff.
I mean, it don't hurt. You know, I just don't do it. It's like, that shit over with.
I know. Oh, shoot. I remember pre-ordering Last of Us, like, around when it got announced. Because I was like, man, this shit crazy. Like, this is, like, the realest shit. Like, and that was, like, And that was around the time of Walking Dead being had this like
super
premiere peak. Hype.
Yeah, everybody was watching it. Yeah. Everybody was talking about it. The water cooler at work, for sure.
And I remember pre-ordering it, and when it came out, I'm trying to think of exactly what date it came out because I ended up not getting it. Yeah, it came out June 14th of 2013. And I don't know what happened where I was just like, no, I'm not going to get it now. Like, that whole time I had it pre-ordered, I was like, I'm not even going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't play it until the remastered version was, like, on sale or whatever. So, but yeah, I remember just being so hype about that.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun game.
What were you going to say? Just it was fun.
I was living with a female at that time.
Nah.
So, you know, it was like
girls.
Yeah, it was that kind of situation where it's like, get off the game. What you doing with yourself?
I'm in the middle of a life or death situation.
What are you talking about? That's what I'm clearly doing something with myself right now. But anyway,
that's funny.
Yeah, that was definitely a cool game.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Last of Us 2 comes out next year, which is, I think, even going to be more crazy. But, yeah, that game, which this is me segueing into PS4, really, I guess. That game, we've kind of talked about it, where it's just, I don't really think, and it's an enjoyable game, where nobody, you know, it's highly regarded, but to say that it's like fun is like almost a stretch in some ways, just because it's so terrifying.
Yeah,
like,
it is an intense
to me.
Yeah, intense game.
And I'm like a sucker, like, so I get scared of shit like that almost. It's like it's not gonna hurt me physically, but like looking
spooky.
at it.
Yeah. But imagination run away with you on stuff like that.
But I guess that's the power of that game, or just the way it was made, though. Because for me to feel like that, but I've said it enough times on this show. I don't really mess with too many scary things.
It was an immersive game as far as like how you felt, and you was like, it was real easy to get invested with the characters and the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they made it real easy for you to be like, oh fuck, what's about to happen, man? I can't believe it, man. Oh my god. So I could kind of see how, especially if it is it is supposed to be like a kind of horror style, or you know what I'm saying, and it's like
survival.
Your heart beating all fast, and she's like, "Man, we gotta be quiet. Shut up, shut up." It make one sound.
I think I tried playing it with the lights off a couple times too. I'm like, nah, I can't do it, man. It's too much.
Let me get a flashlight. It's crazy.
Oh shoot. So going to PS4, which is, I feel like you can remember all this more. It's not too much of the past for you.
Sure. I'm old now. I'm old and I can remember young stuff.
When you think of PS4, what's the first game you think of?
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
Because, like, that was at the end of that, and basically
going into it.
As I moved out of the one place, like 2013, and I went back to I moved out in 2014. And then I went back to my parents' house for like 3 or 4 months. And then I moved into an apartment with my uncle. And when we first moved in there, that was pretty much all we was doing was...
Yeah.
We would all just link up on Grand Theft Auto. My dad was on that shit. We would all just link up and run missions from like, 6 o'clock p.m. to like 11 or 12.
Yeah. Damn.
We was having a good time with that shit.
Did you did you play the whole story on 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, because you don't have to play the whole story to do online, I don't think.
Nah. And I did where I played the story on the PlayStation 3. Okay. So by the time PlayStation 4 came out and it was on there,
I
was just
didn't worry about it.
And they let you bring your character from there to this one, so it was like I don't need to go back and play it again, which I think I might have though still anyway.
Yeah, I tried to. I was like, I don't want to even go through all this again. It's not a bad story, but I was like, I don't want to.
I mean, but like you say, now that's kind of not the point of Grand Theft Auto. It's pretty much the same as like Call of Duty.
They've made that blatantly obvious.
Yeah, it's pretty much like Call of Duty, where it's like, and I'm just here to run around online. I just want to build my own empire, my own Grand Theft Auto empire, instead of being Michael or Franklin or whatever.
Oh, Trevor, crazy ass.
He woke up on the side of a mountain, man. That was his, like, he switched characters. Sometimes he would be like out in the middle of nowhere, asleep.
Yeah, I can't ask myself that same question because that would be odd.
What?
What would be my first game I think of?
For sure, you can't ask it, but you can answer it. It's still an answerable question.
I guess I would probably say God of War.
Yeah.
Because even my friend Warren, we talk on Twitter like a fair amount because all I see is like he tweets a good amount on there. And he was talking about he just got God of War for like on sale like $10. And I'm just like, and I had talked to you about that. I was like, damn, man, it's crazy. Like, I thought everybody played that mug already.
That was such
like,
a good game.
Did.
Yeah, that was such a good game.
And I'm like, and I told him, like, man, that mug is worth the retail price, $60 or whatever.
Yeah.
And the first, and he was saying, he's like, it's tight, whatever. And then a couple of days later, you know how the story goes with, dang, what's his son's name?
Atreus?
Atreus, yeah. And he was like, man, this little punk, man, getting on my nerves. So you get to that point in the story. And then, like, the next, like, few hours, he's like, man, this game is tight, man. I can't believe I waited to play this, man. I'm like, man, it's crazy.
I'm trying to, because what did that come out? How many years ago would that come out now?
I mean, it's almost 2 years. Man. I mean, it came out beginning of last year.
Yeah, okay. So, that's crazy. Seems like way longer time. Something else.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, you know how much I like that game.
Nah, that was a good game. I mean, I probably would still be like messing with it if I hadn't gave it to my dad or whatever. I was still I'm like, happy birthday.
Yeah, I still want to go back and platinum it. I just have to do that, but once again, like everything else I've been trying to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably the first game I would think of, as I have the list up right here. Because when you talk about PS4, is when Sony comes in and just snatches away the top crown of what people talk about from Xbox and stuff. But then I think after that, like Bloodborne, I love Bloodborne a lot. And then Persona 5, as I talked about earlier. I think those would probably be the top ones on my list. Horizon's up there too, even though I never beat it. And then, and of course Spider-Man. So I'll put Spider-Man in top 3. But that's tough to say. That's a top 4. I can't put Persona 5 out of that because I like Bloodborne a lot. I don't talk about it as much.
Yeah.
But that's a game where it's like and that's a scary game. It's not scary like Last of Us to me though. It's more of like just stuff looks ugly or whatever. But that's a game I feel like everybody should play. That I don't really all those like Persona, Spider-Man, Bloodborne, God of War. I think anybody can play those games.
Yeah, for sure.
And have some kind of opinion on them. So I just feel like those are just like top tier video games.
Those are definitely staples. And
I feel like Horizon is a top tier game too, but it falls into that like open world. Here's stuff to do, like type of game.
Yeah, because I never finished that. I did give that away too, but I never finished it, or I traded it in, but I didn't actually finish it.
Cause the combat in Horizon is just so good, and the robot dinosaur design, whatever.
Yeah, I like the fact that it was like old, but it was like new. It was like old timey. Like time had went so far that it went back as far as human development goes, but there were still, like you said, robots, and they was like satellites and shit. And I think that like.
That balance.
It was real cool as far as games go.
Yeah, it's really nice. And where that just came out when Zelda came out, I was like, man, all right, I'd make a choice. But how they obviously chose Zelda over it. But
for sure.
But that's a game where I think the last time I tried to play it, I was just like, man, I don't even remember how to do shit. So I didn't even feel like trying, whatever.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing, when you put a game down that you say you want to get back to, then you gotta like go back and remember, like, okay, how do I even move on this mug? The controls are so much different than the stuff that I've been playing. Like, what am I even supposed to do with this?
Yeah. What do you think? Because going into the new PS5 coming out. Like, what do you think, like, besides even with, like, Grand Theft Auto, like, what do you think you're going to remember about PS4? Like, that just makes it sound like it's emotional or something, you know what I'm saying? But, because it's been, it's going to be 7-year run, and, like, we've played a lot together on, like, different games and stuff, and talking about different games, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think, even with, like I said, with Grand Theft Auto, like, what would you remember the most about it? Like,
shoot, I'm gonna have to say, I want to say World War II.
Yeah.
It may just be because recently, but
that'd be funny out of context.
Yeah,
But
for sure. Call of Duty World War II, I'd say the whole title. But I spent a lot of time playing that game. Like, almost as much as I did playing 2K at that time, where I was like switching on and off between that and 2K. And just like whenever I think about what games I played the most or what was I doing that was the most fun, I had a really good time playing 2K. I mean,
World War II.
playing World War II. And I mean, like I said, that also could have something to do with like the time where I was in my life at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that was really a good time for me.
Yeah, that changes a lot of stuff for gamers, I feel like. And I had a conversation with, I brought them up earlier, Adam and Matt and all those guys in the group chat I'm in, where we were talking about like our games as good as they used to be. And I kind of asked you there like with sports games and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's like where my kind of why I asked you that is because we still love video games a lot. We talk about them every day or whatever, basically. But it's like, you know, and they were kind of, all of them, it's like 5 or 6 of them, like, nah, like, games aren't as good now.
Yeah.
Da-da-da. And I was like, I mean, you can say that. It's like, you know, that's subjective or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, to me, I feel like I love games. I probably love them as much, but it's like you said, it's time and place because I got kids and stuff, and wife and everything.
It's just where your life is what makes you feel like you can like sit down and really pay attention and really like critique the games like you would have had you know, when you was playing with your brother and stuff and like seeing all the different stuff and y'all kind of unlocking stuff together and like that's kind of the whole point. I mean, not the whole point, but that's kind of like a big part of it. Especially when you think about, like you said, times and stuff, because it's super cool games, but you know, at that time you might have been depressed, and that's, you know what I'm saying? That might not have been your thing, and then you come back to it, and it's like, damn, this is really tight.
Yeah.
You know, or just like you said with your buddy, just now getting God of War. Well, ain't no telling what he had going on when it came out. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
When he was like, man, I don't care about that. Get out of my face. And now he's like, fuck, I should have played this mug. You know what I'm saying? I should have been got this. Is so tight. So I feel like it just depends on, you know, I don't think that games have, I don't think that they've gone down from those times. I think I'm just doing other stuff where I can't really like, because even like now Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, like I'm playing a lot of that right now and it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not really any different from any of the other Call of Duties. Except for like the game modes and stuff or the graphics, you know, time changes, but I think that, I just think that, you know, like you said, got a lot to do with it. Yeah. As far as being like, oh, that's my favorite game.
And also, because, like, the market of video games is so prevalent now where, you know, we talk about microtransactions and, you know, Fortnite and stuff like that where the way that they distribute games, you talked about Grand Theft Auto Online where that's been out for... Because Grand Theft Auto Online came out, I think, some months after.
Yeah, it wasn't right away.
So it was like 2014 when it really came out. And that's a long-ass time. Like 5 years of everybody, you know, all these millions of people playing or however many. But, you know, it's just like the market changed so much. Because back in the day, it seemed like people really cared about, like, you know, giving out quality products. And they do now. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's about making money in some way, shape, or form. So... You know,
certain people know that they can make a certain amount of money off of certain styles or certain gameplays and stuff, and that's kind of what they lean towards. Of course, like you said, they making it the best that they can as far as that goes, but they still trying to reach a certain amount of people. So it's like, yeah, that was a cool feature, but the masses didn't like it. We didn't make no money off that, so we're gonna scrap that idea.
And this isn't PlayStation related, but it's, you know, talking about the same thing. Like the Halo Master Chief Collection just came out on Steam, and Halo Reach just finally came out for it, and it's also like on the Xbox Game Pass, whatever, all that stuff. You know, all them Halo games are super old now. Yeah. And like we talked about earlier with like Killzone and stuff, but that was supposed to be like the Halo killer games and stuff. And there's like, you know, all these people that love Halo for like different reasons and stuff. And I know I have like a weird relationship with Halo, but people got on when it came out the other day, like Thursday or something, it was like, you know, hundred thousands of people on Twitch watching, you know, streamers played, and everybody's like, oh man, Halo's back. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's weird because one, it's nostalgia, and two, like them games like really changed like a lot of what's going on now. And it's like, what games do we have now that are doing that in like a positive way? You know what I'm saying? Because like Halo really changed stuff for like multiplayer games or just games in general. And I think now, like, you could probably say that about like, Grand Theft Auto Online and like Fortnite are probably like the ones that really kind of shifted the market. So it's just weird. But what I'm really saying also too is just like the quality of games and like what do we get out of games now? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the market or what's the value to us? Is it having a game that's 130 hours or is it a game that's 20 hours long?
Yeah, or something
how
that
much
you can
should
play
they
with
cost?
your friends or not with your, you know, do you even have a group of friends?
Exactly.
With, you know.
Or like you were talking about like 2K is always online and stuff, and like some people don't like this stuff.
I don't actually. You know, I think it's dumb, especially like because I don't feel like my player mode really, it don't have nothing to do with nobody else. As far as that goes, you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be about me and me actually being in the NBA or hooping or whatever.
Yeah.
But because it's like the park now, and you can take your my player to do this and do that, so you gotta make it like that. But you know, I just feel like it should just be, you know, I should be able to play it anywhere, especially like on the Switch. That's the whole point. And I can't.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, that is backward. That is backwards.
But yeah, anyway, I think that that's all I have to say about that.
You played Until Dawn, right?
Yeah.
What did you think about that game?
I thought it was funny. I liked because there was people in there that I recognized that, you know, like famous
actors, whatever.
Stuff,
yeah. Because what's the blind girl? What's her name?
Hayden
Panettiere.
Yeah, I like her. And what's his name was in that game too? Actually, that dude that's in that show about computers, Remy. I mean Malik.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, you know who I'm talking about. I'm sure,
I forgot that's him.
Yeah,
actually.
Him. And then I don't know if you watch Superstore or not, or if you ever seen that show, but there's this chick on Superstore that was in that too.
I've watched like a few episodes.
Her name's Cheyenne on Superstore. I can't remember what her name was on Until Dawn, but I don't know. It's just funny because you know what I'm saying. You just recognize people from different places. You're like, how do I know that dude? And they're like, oh, she was on another show, or they was on this random video game.
That's another exclusive on PlayStation that not a lot of people messed with, because it's like what a campy like you know teen horror movie thing where you get to choose what you want to happen and stuff like that, and like the butterfly effect of things.
That came out when I was working at GameStop. And I had rented it. You know, you can like borrow games. I did that.
Yeah, because that was a while ago now. But I think I got it when it came on.
It was free in the PlayStation
it was free.
Store at one point.
So I was about to say, I don't think I had bought it, and I'm not I don't think I got that far in it, but it's tight though, and it's something that I'm surprised. And there's other games like story games, whatever, but there hasn't been a lot of those since that I can recall, at least on like PlayStation wise and stuff like that.
It was like it kind of took the like Telltale games kind of like aspect where you was, like you say, you was choosing what was going on, but you was still also like doing stuff, and it wasn't just like a story. It was actually like a movie, something that you could watch. You know, if you had finished it all the way through and went back and watched it.
Do you before I don't even want to ask that question yet. I'm out here going out of order what I was about to say. Do you think that remasters are a bad thing, or do you think that's fine? Because I think a lot of games, I shouldn't say a lot of games, but I think there should be a few games that get remastered, even just ports of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like a lot of people are like, man, it's always just the same stuff coming out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I can kind of agree, but, you know, that just kind of depends on us. You know, it's the same stuff coming out because we keep buying it.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I'm saying? So it's like, as far as that goes, I'm not about to like complain because they remastered the game because, you know, people want it. Now, if they was doing some remaster like a Grand Theft Auto 5 remaster, that'd be kind of goofy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, people still buying Grand Theft Auto 5 right now today. So I think that some of the games that they remaster aren't necessarily ready to be remastered, or they probably should wait a little bit longer, but I don't have no examples of that. Yeah. So I'm not even, you know what I'm saying? I just know that that's kind of a thing, at least amongst the audience.
Because I feel like that's another thing that, like, this era is going to get remembered for a lot is, like, rehashing stuff. Mm-hmm. But I was kind of thinking about it, like, it's hard for us to get a lot of stuff to transition, like, video games wise, to come to, like, the newer consoles or whatever. Yeah. For different reasons and whatever. Because, you know, even with movies, you can always get, like, an old movie damn near. You know what I'm saying? Like, for whatever reason, they just treat movies so much differently. Yeah. And even when you think about, like, I had mentioned those 4 games that I really like a lot on PlayStation. But it's like, and those are, like, highly rated games, too. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of games that aren't really highly rated that people like. And you may or may not really know that. But, you know, like, we take in games, like, so differently than, like, movies and stuff. Mm-hmm. So when you think about it, like, video games are meant to, like, be exciting and stuff like that. Yeah. And those are the games that, like, really get, like, high ratings a lot of times for whatever reason. And then, like, with movies, the movies that get, like, super good ratings and get, like, awards and stuff would be the movies that don't nobody really, like, pay attention to. Or it's not, like...
just don't even really care.
The Rock jumping out of a helicopter. Like, it's not an Oscar winner movie. No. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know why. I don't know why that is. Mm-hmm. But I guess that's just based off of kind of how the mediums are set up, I guess, which is like that's dang near a whole different topic. But I was thinking about that.
Yeah, it's crazy, especially now though, because games are trying to move into that. Mm-hmm. You know, getting that same. So it's like they want the same respect as a movie. You know, where especially now they drop games on the same day that movies come out. Mm-hmm. You know, we talked about that before too, where it's like before. Games was coming out on like Tuesday, you know, and you was going to a midnight release on like a Monday night or something, you know, and now it's like, nah, come up, pull up on Thursday. Nah, don't go to that movie, don't go to that early showing of Star Wars. Come and buy this game or whatever.
You would almost think that games would damn near just come out like on a Saturday or something. I mean, I guess coming out Friday is fine, but just, I don't know. In my mind, you would, and sometimes Nintendo does that though. Mm-hmm. Nintendo just does whatever the hell they want, but I just thought that was it's just kind of interesting how the market is for games compared to movies and just how we treat those things like so differently. But like you said, there's games like The Last of Us and stuff where it's not necessarily trying to be a movie, but it's trying to be taken seriously like it is.
Mm-hmm. Even like Death Stranding, you know what I'm saying? Like especially like games like that where they do have real actors, they cast real actors and people that you actually know from movies. Yeah. Then it's hard for you to separate that in your mind. Like, this ain't no movie, or this is a game. And it's like, or is it? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know exactly. So it's like, I feel like, you know, like you said, they're just trying to get that same level of respect that movies get. You know, that seriousness. Because I mean, they should. The amount of work that it takes to make a game is equivalent, if not more, than to what it takes to make a movie. You know what I'm saying? Or like getting all the people together, because you still got actors regardless. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You might not know all of them. They might not be famous, but most games have voice actors and stuff and people who come in and read lines, and then you got animators and people who doing this, and it's just a full thing. So I don't see why it wouldn't get that same level of respect in the first place, but I understand that it doesn't, you know. I mean,
I agree.
Because at the same time, you know, people don't even actually know much about games. You know, they just like, oh, you playing a game, you know, especially like earlier on, it's like, what a bum, you playing a game, and it's like, but you know, what a bum, you watching the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not doing nothing
just
either.
Sitting there.
At least I'm like interacting, my brain's being stimulated, which is not that. It's not when you're watching a movie, but it takes more to play a game, you know what I'm saying, than it does just go in and pay attention to a movie.
Exactly.
But, you know, that was just the adults at that time, I guess. Was like, what is this crap? Turn that off, you know, or whatever. So now, because now, like you said, it's different now where we the ones that's in charge of that kind of stuff. So, you know, you got to put esports in school, or you know what I'm saying? This game's coming out on Friday because we appreciate what the time and what it took to make, you know, games like you said, like Last of Us and like Death Stranding and stuff. Like, we like, wow, look at the graphics. You know, even like we was playing Red Dead, which, you know, that wasn't that long ago now, but like the whole point of that game was like,
how it looked.
Yeah, it was just like, wow, look at the scenery.
Look at that buffalo.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you could see the hairs on it. I mean, look at this mustache. And it's like, yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, so it's like you said, we the ones that's saying like, nah, you need to do that. Y'all need to have some respect for this stuff because it's really, truly beautiful stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like crazy to, you know, saying that now. It's like, what? But that shit is nice. It's just, you know, super cool. It's more than just playing the game at this point.
Nah, I agree.
As far as like just saying that or like downplaying him, like, you just playing the game. It's like, I'm opening up worlds. I'm creating it. It's different.
But like with the, I'm off of PS4 now. I want to talk about PSP and the Vita real quick. Do you think, because I know Sony that just said in an interview to somebody, I found on IGN, they were talking about they don't plan on making any more handheld consoles, which is pretty apparent because they act like the Vita is like the redhead child or whatever, like stepchild. But do you how fond of memories? I know you like PSP a good deal. Like, how fond of those handhelds are you? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I like the Vita, and the only reason why I had got rid of my last one was because I was trying to get an Xbox. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to do something that I probably should have just waited and saved my money for anyway, just being goofy. But I think that I had a good time. Like, I really appreciate, like you said, I really appreciate PSP for sure. Because that was, like, huge for me. Like I said, I played a lot of handheld games, and once the PSP came out, I could play more console based or like games that was more like, for closer to being on the console on the PSP. So I think that they probably could make another one and it'd actually do pretty good. And even like you said with the Vita being like the stepchild, it's still super cool. It's still like a nice piece of hardware for sure. Like, cause on Thanksgiving, my little cousin came over and he was playing Fallen Order, which I'm pretty sure he was doing like
the remote play, whatever. Yeah,
that's crazy. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know nothing about it because I don't have no Vita now or whatever. But the fact that I was like running around, I swung lightsaber around a couple times, but I didn't play it that long. But just the fact that you could even do that, you know, I'm pretty sure he not carrying around his PlayStation in his on his back. So the fact that he was that far away from his house and still being able to do that is super tight.
With the handhelds, because PSP, I only had mine for like, in my mind, I only had for like a year or two. And then I got the Vita, like I had talked about earlier. And I like the Vita a lot. And a lot of people like the Vita a lot, but they just like put it in this weird position where it's like, do y'all care about it or not? And obviously they didn't after a while. And then, because then like 3DS just came and blew it out the water. But I feel like if Sony like really had their ducks in a row and cared, they could make a handheld that people cared about. Because as it's been shown, you don't have to have console-like games on a handheld device. Like, that's not necessarily what people want. Like, the Switch is, like, in a different breed. It's supposed to be like a hybrid. Yeah.
So it's, like, weird. But, nah, you can make, even just, like, with DS and how they are still making 3DS games and even just dropped a new 2DS, like, last year or whatever. It's, like, if you treat it right, it will work for you. You know what I'm saying? You can do whatever you want on it. And it's still, you don't have, like you said, you don't have to make console style games or games that you want to play on the console. Because I would never buy like a Call of Duty on the DS. You know what I'm saying? That's goofy.
Even on the Switch. Like,
it's I'm not doing it. If they put Apex on it for free maybe or something. But it's like, I don't want that stuff.
Yeah, broke the controller.
That's not why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come here for that stuff. So it's like you said, if you do it the right way and like put the right time and marketing into it, like you did any of the other systems, I don't see why it wouldn't sell out or sell well. I'd say
because you're like with the Vita, what came out 2012. And that was like a year and some change before the PS4 came out. Mm-hmm. So it was like in this weird in-between. Yeah. And it's not like the Switch where that's it for Nintendo, really. Yeah. Like, even if they want to act like 3DS is staying, it's not. Yeah. Like, that's like, it's it. Yeah. And it can do, like you said, it's a hybrid and stuff. And with the Vita, it's like, okay, say I want to like put console stuff on there for a little bit. And then they try it, and then it's like, oh. Yeah, and I guess not no more.
They didn't really put in the effort, and like you said, with the PlayStation 4 coming out not too long after that, it was like anyway, throw that in the trunk. I don't need that. Give me a PS4,
and because like it still is a really like the screen on there, like the OLED screen and both analog sticks. Because I remember the PSP, did it have 2 sticks or just 1?
I think it just had 1.
I'd have to look. Yeah, but it's like it's just built nice. Like it's a little small now, but I feel like it's really in like the right sizing. Cause the Switch is like, I mean, it's a hybrid for a reason, but like as a handheld, it is kind of cumbersome a little bit.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of big.
Yeah, it is for sure.
Cause the Vita, you can still put that in your pocket or whatever. But and I would like, I'm not like, oh man, I wish they'd come out with another Vita or whatever, but. Like you just said, if they market it the right way and they put the right kind of games on there, yeah, because you can put an Uncharted on there, but it doesn't have to be, Uncharted 5 or whatever. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and they tried that with Abyss, but some kind of alternative.
What if they did it like how they doing with all these little mini consoles and stuff? It's like how they did mini PlayStation 1. What if they came out, which I guess it wouldn't be a mini in a way, but. They came out with a PSP again.
Oh, like with all the games and stuff like that.
That would be tight.
That would be interesting. Yeah, PSP did just have 1 stick on the left. Yeah.
Oh, dang, I forgot about PSP Go.
Yeah, I never had one. I remember my cousin had one.
I had a white one.
Was that the only... I think or did they... I know they had black because it's right here, but... I remember... some reason I remember white being like... prominent for that for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why either, but yeah, I had one of them. I wonder what happened to that.
It's just under the couch. It's under your mom's bed. Like a flip phone. Oh, this thing? Yeah. She's gonna pull it out.
That's crazy.
I've been using it as a mirror. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Sony just kind of like gave up in like a weird way.
Yeah, they did, and not even giving up. They didn't even try. Yeah. Like, they was like, okay, yeah, we got this. See. And it was like, oh, no, we don't got that. Yeah. We good.
But, yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird to say because, like, I got that red Vita when I went to Japan because I'm like, these things are about to not be here anymore, and I'd rather get one now. Plus, they still cost a lot. And the memory card thing is a whole other thing. That's a big reason why it didn't work out. It's like, why wouldn't you just use regular memory cards? But anyway, what do you want to see from PlayStation in the next, going into 2020? Graphics, more like power, really, or just more of the same?
I want them to find a way to make the PS5 quieter.
Quiet, like not a jet rocket.
Yeah. Because even our PlayStation 4 be super loud now these days, and not just it's usually playing like Call of Duty, but yeah, which makes sense because that shit is such a big game now. That, we sitting there talking about it, but
shit, like
that I think honestly, and then like battery life on the controller, they could do something about that because that's ridiculous. I got like 2-3 controllers this past like year or whatever, 6 months or whatever, and they be acting like I've had them for a long ass time. Like they be acting like they dead all the time. I'm like, what the fuck? I just turned the game on for the first time in like 3 weeks. Why is my controller dead? Or why is it like going dead? You know what I'm saying? So it's like you give me something, do something about that. But as far as everything else goes, I expect it to be the next step up in that way. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, shit, I don't know, 4K and all this other like HD stuff. I don't know. I can't really imagine that because this is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, as clear as things are right now, I don't know how much more clear TV can be.
Exactly.
Before I'm like, it's just a window. You know what I'm saying? It's not even TV no more. It's just a window to the outside world or whatever. So.
Yeah, I don't really know what they can do. I mean, I know they've talked about load times being so much better.
Yeah.
But like you said, like in terms of graphics and fidelity and stuff, it's like, how much can you really do, man? Like,
I can't even see, honestly. You know, you're talking about two people that wear glasses and shit. So it's like I can't even really see all the depths.
Yeah.
I don't know as far as like that goes, but you know, like you said, shit, I don't know. Do something about some of the hardware stuff. Because even with like load times, I mean, sure, I want a game to load up fast, but then again, I don't. Because sometimes I like to do stuff in the meantime. Sometimes, you know, you might have to, especially like with you know, you got the kids running around. Sometimes you got to get up and go bust a move. You know, a quick little 5-minute load time is perfect for that. I'm not saying don't get rid of it or don't do nothing about it, because clearly that's their main thing. Like, we ain't got no load times, but it's like, I don't care about that. That's not even like a thing. Everything loads. You know what I'm saying? Everything got to load up and get started. Even me. So, you know, I don't know. It's like, to say that I'm going to just be able to get up and be ready, it just doesn't seem like fathomable in that way. Like, I'm always going to need a few minutes to like, I'm okay. Now I can go. You know, I don't know.
Dang, what was I about to say? I didn't mention Tony Hawk earlier, and I don't know how I didn't. We were talking about like PS1 and stuff, PS2. And I know they there was like a rumor saying they might be trying to make a new Tony Hawk game, which I don't know how that's gonna work. But I don't. What am I about to say? That's something I guess I kind of want to see. But that's also something where they can make me not feel bad.
Yeah, making a new Tony Hawk.
Cause man, those games were great. I should have, cause like those games weren't exclusives to like PlayStation, but to me, I'm like everybody associates Tony Hawk with PlayStation.
Yeah, it was that kind of thing. Was just being like, yo, let's go on Tony Hawk. Yeah, everybody having it on the PlayStation. Cause I mean, most of the people that I know that had that game, which was I? I'm gonna have to ask. I'm gonna have to talk to do some research on that. But definitely. Going over somebody's house and playing it was on the PlayStation, or even having those old demo discs.
Yeah, damn, we ain't talk about demo discs.
You know? It had different stuff on it, different little games you could try out and play and stuff. Because I know one of them was on a demo disc. I don't remember which one specifically, but
you don't get those no more.
Nah.
Cause you can't even do demo discs now, just for the simple fact that like. A Blu-ray is what, like 60 or some gigs, and like we were just talking about like Call of Duty, like you can't even put that on there.
No, it's its own. Demos now are their own separate thing from each like at that time it was like 4 or 5 games, you know, a couple little videos. Man. It was like a whole little menu selection screen thing that you had to go through, but now it's like. You know, Call of Duty.
Get this beta.
Exactly.
Pre-order it.
Exactly. You gotta stand in line for the demo.
Yeah.
Download it. It's a whole big thing.
Man, what y'all standing in line for? Man, ain't even the whole game.
It's the beta. We playing beta. The demo.
The alpha. I remember when Destiny came out with the alpha. I'm like, man, the alpha.
Nice try. But it just doesn't ring well like beta does.
Man. That's another big thing too for this generation. It's kind of like Destiny really changing up the landscape too. Should have had that written down.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's so much content and stuff that we missed and that we, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like as soon as you turn it off, when you done with this, you're like, damn, I remember that was my favorite game. Man, you know, fuck, I should have said that on the show. It's so much stuff that's hard, and especially now. With the way that we get any kind of piece of media, you know what I'm saying? Music, games, it just keeps going. It's constant, like, you know, it's a constant stream, continuous consciousness of just
Slim upstream.
You know what I'm saying? Data, bits and pieces and stuff that you know, where you can only really think about the last few albums you listen to. You know, it's hard to think about the albums that came out last year, the year before last, or even games or whatever. It's like, Man, so many games that even just dropped in the last 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Like that I'm like, okay, I'm playing this, playing this, playing that. Boom. Now I'm done with those games. I'm going to play this, play that, play that. Boom. Gotta get them out of here. Whatever. It's so much stuff. It's hard to even just be like, oh yeah,
this is it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's so much, man. That's something that in the future with PS5 and Xbox, whatever and stuff, where right now there's so many games that come out. And there's only so much time that we have. But I feel like the way that the production of games is, it's almost gonna... I feel like it's almost gonna slow down a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I could be wrong. Just depending on how they want it handled. Especially with all these games of service and everything and whatever. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see how the market switches up in this next decade, which is so scary to think about.
I don't even know. We're getting old. We're gonna be obsolete pretty soon. Yeah. As far as like the stuff that we want ain't gonna matter anymore. Mm-hmm. The stuff that we want to see out of PlayStation 5, they'll be designing it for your kids to play. I say your kids because I don't have none.
That we know about.
Yeah. I know about. They do not exist. Ain't never gonna catch me slipping. Not in that way where they're like, this is your son from 1940. Like, no. Yeah. What? You tripping, man.
You got any other things you want to bring up, man?
Nah, we better wrap it up.
How long you been talking?
Me either. I gotta work.
Back to reality.
Right, we ran out of time anyway.
Oh, shoot. Well, if you like this audio or video or whatnot, give us a shout, give us a like. Give us a subscribe, a comment, or whatever the hickety do. Not a hickey. That'd be weird.
I'm trying to think of how you would even do a phone now. Like, that's like the symbol for phone. But yeah, it's like it don't got no buttons or it don't flip or it don't do nothing. So you gotta be like, let me check my phone.
I was listening to Jay-Z and he's talking about 2 ways. I said, man, this is crazy.
Yeah. It's not even the same, man.
Oh man.
I never even thought about that, like making that universal like phone. Yeah. That doesn't even apply anymore.
People still do this for whatever reason.
Cause them phones don't even look like this no more.
Could you imagine?
What?
A banana phone.
What you doing?
Oh man, we don't get cool phones like that no more. I always wanted like a hamburger phone when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. Something goofy like that, yeah. That'd be tight.
Well, I think that's it.
Adios.
Peace, amigos, or guys. I've never said amigos before.